In this video, I'm going to trace out the Celtic knot, and I'm going to cut it out with the CO2 laser. Using Trace, the first thing I'm going to do here is select 4 points. I'll be selecting the 4 corners of the diagram, and this will define our workspace on Trace. From the curve fit command, I'm going to select the trace command and then the arc command. Very easy to select these different selections. This makes the tracing very quick. That outer perimeter of the Celtic knot, I used all the commands. Next thing here, I'll save my work. I save my work frequently, about every 4 minutes. Also, as usual, I always talk about using the red pencil. I use a red pencil to mark off where I've started tracing, and that gives me an idea also what's been done. Again, you can see I saved my work. I'm now starting to trace out the internal components of the diagram. I try and use the different selections for tracing because that makes it quicker and easier to trace out. Again, I talk about diagram size. The diagram here that I'm using is about 17 by 17 inches. So the larger your diagram, the easier it is to trace, especially if some of the areas are very small. It's a detailed diagram to trace out, but it's easy because there's 3 areas that are quite similar, so you end up using the same commands each time. I should mention here that when you save your work, the program saves a second copy, and I call that the working copy, and it's in a TLG format. This working copy can be reloaded anytime, so if you take a break, say next day, you could pick up your diagram, just reload that working copy, and you do that through under Options. I use this feature a lot, so that's why I save my work so frequently. Also, a good point to note here is there's options and setup buttons to configure the program to suit the user. In my case, I've made the line width 0.5 and I've made the line black. I like my tracing to look like a black thread. I find Trace easy to use and it's fast. It has the ability to be saved in different formats like DXF, PolyDXF, SVG, or PDF. I save all my tracings DXF format. One unique feature here is the ability of the program to extend the control window. That's the window on the left-hand side. You can extend that window to another device like a cell phone or an iPad, which would enable you to have that very close to where you're tracing, and you can make your selections really quick. My plan here is to take this file, put it into the CO2 laser, and cut it out and spray it black. For some of these smaller areas around the leaves, I just used the trace command. I'm pretty well finished the tracing, so I'll save that final DXF file, and I'm going to load that file directly into the laser software. The first thing I'll do is take a look at the laser simulator and see how long the cut is going to take. It looks like it's going to take about a 14 to a 15-minute cut. Shown here, I've got an 1/8 inch hardboard panel on the laser bed. You can see I'm getting a really smooth cut, and that's because I'm using about 28 psi of compressed air. Once my